I don't think about you anymore, not because I don't care, but because I've learned to take my heart back and cherish the peace I now have within myself. The silence between us is no longer painful. It's a quiet reminder that sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to let go. I've come to understand that letting go isn't a sign of weakness, but an act of self-love. I don't think about you anymore because I've chosen to focus on my own growth and happiness. There was a time when I couldn't imagine life without you, but now I realize that I don't need to think about you to feel whole. When you stop thinking about someone, it's not because they don't matter anymore, but because you've learned to love yourself more. It's strange how someone who once occupied my every thought now feels like a distant memory, as if I've been reborn in the absence of their presence. I don't think about you anymore, but I sometimes wonder if you're thinking about the version of me you lost. Moving on doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the moments when you stop obsessing over the past and begin to embrace the beauty of the present. Not thinking about you anymore feels like finally taking a deep breath after holding it for too long. It's freedom in its purest form. The mind may not dwell on you as much as it used to, but the heart still carries the lessons and the memories wrapped in the soft blanket of time. I don't think about you anymore because I have made space in my heart for new dreams, new joys, and a future that doesn't revolve around the past. It's funny how your mind can eventually stop thinking about someone, but the heart still carries echoes of what once was. I used to think of you constantly, but now I find peace in knowing that I have chosen my own path and I'm no longer bound by thoughts of you. I don't think about you anymore because I've come to realize that my ethic was never defined by your presence or absence. The more I stop thinking about you, the clearer I see how much energy I wasted on a love that never truly existed for me. Not thinking about you anymore isn't a sign of bitterness, but a sign that I've learned to prioritize my happiness above all else. There was a time when you consumed my thoughts, but now I've realized that I deserve to be the one at the center of my own world. It's not that I don't care anymore. It's just that I've shifted my focus to a place where peace, not pain, lives. I used to think about you all the time, but now I find peace in the moments where you no longer occupy my thoughts. I don't think about you anymore because I've chosen to stop living in the shadow of our past and step into the light of my future. I once thought that forgetting you would be impossible, but now I realize it's the first step in finding myself again. I used to feel empty without you in my thoughts, but now I feel free. It's amazing how much more room there is for joy when I stop dwelling on you. I don't think about you anymore because I've realized that my happiness doesn't depend on what you think or feel about me. The absence of you in my thoughts is no longer a void. It's a space for new possibilities, new experiences, and new beginnings. When you stop thinking about someone, it's not because they don't matter anymore, but because you've learned to put yourself first. I've spent enough time thinking about you, and now it's time to spend that energy creating a future where I am at the center of my own world. Not thinking about you anymore doesn't mean I've forgotten you. It means I've learned that my life doesn't need to be dictated by the past. I've realized that there's more to life than constantly wondering about what you're doing. And now I'm focused on creating a life that fills me with peace and joy. I don't think about you anymore, but I'll always appreciate the lessons that came from the time we shared. In the quiet moments when your name no longer echoes in my mind, I've found the strength to heal and grow. Sometimes the hardest part is letting go. But once you stop thinking about someone who's no longer in your life, you realize how much you've gained in freedom. I don't think about you anymore because I've learned that no one else can complete me except for myself. When your thoughts stop revolving around someone else, you finally make room for the love and peace that you deserve. I don't think about you anymore, not out of spite, but because I've chosen to embrace the future instead of being stuck in the past. It's amazing how, with time, you can grow beyond someone's influence, and the thoughts that once dominated your mind can fade into the background. I don't think about you anymore because I've learned that peace is more valuable than the chaos that came with constantly wondering where you are.